Some stories are so horrifying, they leave a permanent mark on history. This is one of them. The story of Lawrence Bittaker and Roy Norris, the Toolbox Killers. A tale of unimaginable cruelty, twisted minds, and a justice system that struggled to contain their evil. But this isn't just a crime story. This is a step-by-step journey into the abyss. A journey that will leave you questioning humanity itself. Let's begin. It all started in a place where evil often finds its allies, prison. Lawrence Bittaker and Roy Norris met behind bars, bonding over their darkest desires. Both men shared a sick fascination with kidnapping, torturing, and killing young women. They didn't just dream about it, they planned it. And when they were released, they put their plan into action. But this wasn't just a plan, it was a pact to unleash pure evil on the world. Their weapon of choice? A 1977 GMC van, customized for their sinister needs. They called it the Murder Mac. To the outside world, it was just an ordinary van. But inside, it was a rolling torture chamber equipped with hammers, pliers, screwdrivers, and ice picks, all chosen to inflict maximum pain. Then, they hit the streets, hunting for their victims. Imagine this. You're a young girl walking home. A van pulls up beside you. The driver smiles, offering you a ride. You hesitate, but he seems friendly. You get in, and just like that, your life is over. Between June and October 1979, Bittaker and Norris abducted 5 girls, aged 13 to 18. Their names were Lucinda Schaefer, Andrea Hall, Jackie Gilliam, Jacqueline Lamp, and Shirley Lynette Ledford. Each one was chosen at random. Each one was subjected to unspeakable horrors. The killers didn't just murder their victims, they tortured them for hours, days, and they recorded it all. One of the most chilling pieces of evidence was an audio tape, a 17-minute recording of Shirley Lynette Ledford's final moments. Her screams, her pleas for mercy. It's a sound no one should ever have to hear, and yet it exists, a permanent record of pure evil. Their reign of terror might have continued if not for one thing: fear. Roy Norris began to worry that Bittaker would turn on him, so he did the unthinkable. He confessed to a counselor, and that confession led to their arrest. When police searched their van, they found evidence that would haunt even the most hardened detectives. Bloodstains, tools, and those tapes. The tapes that would later be used in court to prove just how monstrous these men were. The trial of the Toolbox Killers was a media sensation. The details that emerged were so gruesome, so disturbing, that the courtroom often fell into stunned silence. Prosecutors played the tapes. They showed the tools. They painted a picture of 2 men who weren't just killers. They were monsters. And then, the verdict. Lawrence Bittaker was sentenced to death. Roy Norris, who cooperated with authorities, received a life sentence. But for the families of the victims, it wasn't enough. How could it be? Their daughters were gone, their lives destroyed, and no amount of justice could bring them back. Bittaker spent over 30 years on death row, but he didn't go quietly. He filed appeal after appeal, dragging the families through decades of legal battles. He corresponded with journalists, true crime enthusiasts, and even psychologists, always trying to maintain his grip on the outside world. And then, in 2019, it finally happened. Lawrence Bittaker died of natural causes. No execution, no dramatic end. Just a quiet death in his cell. For many, it felt like a betrayal. After all the pain he caused, he got to die on his own terms. The Toolbox Killers may be gone, but their legacy of terror lives on. Their crimes were so heinous, so depraved, that they've become a benchmark for evil. Law enforcement agencies still study their case to understand the psychology of serial killers. And for the families of the victims, the pain never ends. Every year, they're reminded of the horrors their loved ones endured. But here's the question: why do we keep talking about cases like this? Is it because we're drawn to the darkness? Or is it because we need to remember to honor the victims and to ensure that nothing like this ever happens again? The story of the Toolbox Killers is a reminder that true evil exists. It's a reminder to stay vigilant, to protect our loved ones, and to never forget the victims whose lives were stolen too soon. Stay safe,